What's up, Beta Revs? I'm King Green, and you're watching the 12-week year, take 2, part 2. And it has been a hectic 4 weeks, which you're about to see, and I called it when I was recording for the last vlog about this. Boy, I gotta stop doing that. Proof on the next 4 weeks. That's gonna be the ones that are gonna be the most challenging ones, I think, going in. You'll get to see how the struggles I have with Fate Marked, as well as transcribing Mistborn and the future novels. But before we get there, I hope you go on to enjoy this video. If you do, I would love it if you would hit that like button as a prayer to the holy algorithm. And subscribe, because I got writing content on this channel that's coming out shortly.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
That being said, let's get to the video. It is Monday, March 24th, and at 9:19, I have already done my calendar planning for the week, so it's ready to go. And this being the first video of part 2 of my first 12-week year, I'm excited for it. I am still waking up. I didn't sleep well last night. Well, that's because I was so pumped up with caffeine. I didn't get to bed until late, and I just didn't get good sleep. But we're good to go with the calendar. Goals are set for the week, and right now I'm going to be working on finishing up the AI prompt for my future novels goal. And I do want to run it today or this week. But the best thing about AI prompts and everything, if you get it finished, I can finish it today, but run out of time to run it. But I can just drop it into Claude anytime today and still get it run whilst working on something else. So
confidence, dreams, and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I'm
AI is generating because I did finish the prompt, and it's 9:43. Editing Tim here. So I go on to ramble random stuff here that's just not coherent. But basically, I'm talking about how in the prompt, the top few series, which was labeled the important series, Authority Record, Children of Origin, Shattered World, Triune, -4 words, -5 worlds of World of 5 Worlds, didn't have plot summaries. They just had explanations. I was going to put up one in, then I decided not to because they weren't important for this prompt, because I'm focusing on standalones, and I had enough information in the prompt to get a sense of what I'd like. I did get through the first 4 of the plot summaries for potential future novels. I noticed as I'm reading the summary for it, there are things that be like, okay, that's kind of interesting. I'm back. I'm clearly tired. I'm mumbling. All of them seemed like stories I could write, but there's things about them I didn't like and I did like. Either the world I didn't like, but the characters were interesting, or the characters didn't seem right, but the world was interesting. The magic was there, or the magic didn't work. All had about 4 magic systems in it, which is a lot for a standalone. I pick out a few, like number 4, where I said I really liked, but needed some tweaks. And then there was another one that felt like better as a novella, because the plot summary came off as who killed the Stormfather in Stormlight Archive, but not that. All right, so it's 11:09, and I decided a little before 11 to just start working on Let the Hunt Begin, and because I'm still tired, even though I've had 2 cups of coffee and I am working on a Zoa, and I'm still feeling tired from just the lack of sleep today. All right, I'm gonna spare you a whole bunch of like 20 minutes of me just jumbling and cutting up that really isn't, with me having to jump in every 5 seconds. Claude has an error going on that prevents me from being able to drop in section 1. and get feedback on the scenes. It eventually does get resolved, and I run it through, and it is just garbage of results. When I did this for the prologue, it worked. It was very helpful, and it was dead on. Claude chat wanted to have Cato perceive things in the crowd of this intense battle scene in the arena, clue towards the future events later in the book. And I'm just like, that's not the intent of the scene. I eventually give up on it because I wanted to get to the pre-writing of section 2, and I'm more awake. But
searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.
Let the Hunt Begin is in trouble. And I'm realizing now, today, holy shit, I did it again. I have to take Let the Hunt Begin back to square one. Let's explain. But I really gotta stop saying this stuff out loud because I'm really manifesting this shit into existence. I call this at the end of the last vlog. And it's going well. I am a little concerned about the next 4 weeks because in stuff like this, it's the middle that can always sag and things can be thrown at you. But mentally, I'm preparing myself for that to, if things do happen, pivot. Okay, I didn't manifest this. It's an underlining thing I have realized about Let the Hunt Begin that finally came through the pre-writing. Which is a good thing because I gotta stop doing this shit. Problem is what I do when I get new ideas. You can look at it in this video here of my author failures. It's nothing really interesting a way of saying it, but it's basically new take. What is it? New take, crammed together. Where I take a story that's I have a problem with the story, I get a new take on it, and I come up with a new beginning, something new, and I cram that in with the old to make it fit. I did that here again. And it all started when I changed it from a novella to a novel. When I decided to change Let the Hunt Begin from a novella to a novel was very simple. I extended the beginning. There's no real problems in the story that I'll touch upon, and I can't get into any of the real problems because there are major spoilers, but the problem I had was this. I had a fast intro after the prologue because we had to get to it because it's a novella, we have to get to the story, blah, blah, blah. If we're going to a novella, going to a novel, we can have a slower beginning build out. The problem is my inciting incident comes at the end of section 2 of 5. I'm pretty sure if I go through and really examine my story beats and everything, I could find an inciting incident that starts it off in section 1. It wouldn't be the correct one. It wouldn't be setting up what the story is about. The story is literally John Wick meets Taken in a fantasy version of ancient Rome. Besides having the climax at the end of section 2, there was another idea I came up with during the pre-writing of a very important scene that is spoilers that I can't go into. It adds a twist to it that really does help Cato's arc, and actually would allow me to add on something for Aurelia. All right, so add in that you have Aurelia, who had gotten more scenes and her story being more entangled, intertwined with the story, but not having enough to really show her arc in this, and the fact that Luca feels like a damsel in distress. So I added some scenes to really help flesh out why she isn't more proactive. Just the convoluted things that happen right before the climax. And then some other characters of Eros and Europa who show up, which are important. I like those characters. I want to keep them. But they don't feel like fully as well ingrained in there. Because I did that again too, as part of this whole. And it's just one of those frustrating things. If I'm going to write this story correctly, I have to take it back from the beginning. I gotta take it back and treat this as a novel, not expanding a novella, and really hammering this out. If you add on the fact that Kato has no rivals during this time frame, just the entire novel, and he's going against this unskilled or street skilled, or yes, somewhat more skilled, but he's just so much more elite, and that's a problem. It just doesn't work. I need to start all over again and treat this as a novel, not a novella being stretched out. An overlong novella that was actually a novel, and really work this all the way through. God damn it, I wanted to start writing near the end of next year, but it's just, I don't think it's gonna happen. First off, it's Friday, April 4th. I just finished going through and listing all my concerns I have with Let the Hunt Begin into a Scrivener document. Really fleshing out my idea, like not just ideas, but like just like, here's the situation, here's something I have a problem with, here's why. Some of them are detailed, other ones are just like, okay, here's a little something, but it could work. Maybe we might have to remove this, but I don't want to, and maybe we can find a way to grind it earlier on. I originally only had about 6. I ended with 9 of them, but it feels good. I'm really, as frustrating as it is right now with everything I've gone through with Let the Hunt Begins, Faint Marked in general, I feel I have a better understanding of what I want from the story and where I want to go with it. Realize I have them now and deal with them, then to start writing, ignore them, finish the pre-writing, start writing near the end of year 2, realize after I've written a few thousand full first draft, these issues exist and have to go back through and change them. Right now, I am going through those things with AI. I run it through AI using Claude's new project element to see how that works. Starting to break that down, making sure I'm not falling into that old habit again of new take, cram everything else in. No, I am systematically using AI now to break it down to get what I want from it.
It's not a Christmas song. The Christmas tree's on fire. Santa's holding the lighter. My parents are both liars. I got gifts but 1 subscribers. Thanks for the candy basket. Oh God, another jacket. My stocking's filled with acid. Am I dreaming? What just happened?
April 8th, and it's been a few days, but it's been challenging, but I think I went through a little bit of not depression, but just a downer on having realized I had to bring Let the Hunt Begin back to square one and really build it as a novel, not a novella, into a novel. I mentioned about all the flaws and things I thought or problems with it back on Friday. One of the biggest issues I realized was that Kato had no physical match to him in the story. But I always felt that was missing. Turns out that's not the only thing that was missing. Aurelia doesn't have that. Luca doesn't have that. That's a challenge. But I think it'll be good. I think I can do it. But that's what I gotta work on today.
Behind a fake exterior, inferior. You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
My new direction and ending can't work together as it was. I'm trying to get my ending the same way, but with the new changes and everything, I don't know how to do it right now. I really do not know how to get the conclusion I want with how the climax and everything to pay off and makes sense. I don't know. Of course it's gonna be trying to tack on that old ending isn't necessarily gonna work the way I want it to work. But man, I really gotta think that through now.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I've got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough,
I need a break. I have to take a break from Let the Hunt Begin. I know I just said like the 8th that I was thinking I needed to take a break, but I wasn't going to because this was the focus for this 12-week year. But I need to take a break. I think this is a good time to go and explore this idea for the overall lore I want to explore. This would be a good time to do it because the idea I had with this lore is that I would be able to combine a novella that was supposed to be turned into a series as well called Rajara that I worked on last year. I think I mentioned that in my vlog I did last summer. I think this could be tied into that based on the lore, where I'm going. I want to do the ideas I have for the lore and where I could go with that story. If I take a break from Let the Hunt Begin, but still working on Fate Mark, I won't feel like I'm giving up on the story. I'm actually letting my brain reset on Let the Hunt Begin and allowing myself to focus on the broader picture for a little bit. I'd like to say I'd better get back to it by the end of this vlog. I don't think I'm going to because I'm already in the 3rd week. So next week would be the end of the vlog. And I just don't see that. Maybe something will happen over the weekend. And it's Wednesday, so we're halfway through this 3rd week. So unless something happens in the next week and a half, I don't see that. What I did today was I spent some time working on the lore of Fate Marked, and we kind of explored the idea I had back in November for the overall lore and everything. And it's interesting. And I'm trying to figure out if I should merge Rajara, which is a series of novellas, stories, in with it and it being a sequel. The more I've been thinking about it, the more I'm just like, but I just don't know if that's the way I want to go. But I do think Rajara could fit in this story, just not as a sequel, as a present day thing, another country, another area of this world to explore. The one big thing I haven't been able to answer this story about this lore overall, it's probably one of the reasons why I didn't work on it, is what is the story I'm going to be telling? Why is this important? What is going to be the end? I think I know what it is. It's an interesting idea. I have to explore it. I have to let the juices marinate in it, but I think I have an idea. I think the idea is going to be not how we get to Shattered World, but something different, but something just as important. But now that it's noon, afternoon, I have to get ready to go work out because I want to get back into working out. But I need to get back in the gym and I want to go work out. Take it light, not too much, not too intense, but something more than I've been doing. And then I have to get food, go to work.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Alright, today is April 16th, Wednesday. So the last few days I've been digitally working on Fate Marked. It's coming along not as fast as I would like, but I did make some breakthroughs. I can't remember if I've already said this in the vlog, but I did come up with a new reason for why Let the Hunt Begins is happening, besides the reasons I already had. That will still play out, but there'll be another more specific reason why. Yesterday I didn't do much because I was in a brain fog from just being tired from working out and doing more than I had been at the gym. But I did decide to take some time and just write down ideas for the storylines in sections. Yeah, I know it looks like there's a lot there. Go through and figure out, okay, what's these arcs could fit together in, so there's not so many, but it's more just getting ideas of what things I need to focus on and really look at to get the story I want to tell. Alright, so for today, the 16th, what I've been working on is the lore of Fate Marked. Not decided. I answered the question, why Fate Marked is important. Why is it so goddamn important? And that is because I'm answering the question of how ethereal record came into existence. It didn't always exist. Ethereal record is pipe knowledge of everything that has come before. All the worlds and universes that have existed at one point. So that was cool. And if I decided today, I wrote down, if this is the direction I'm going to go, I need to answer these questions. What are cosmic entities? Because editing Tim here. So when I first started the lore, I wrote down a bunch of things that, like a colossal, cosmic entities, gods, what would play into this lore. And this was supposed to take place in Shattered World, where cosmic entities, which are like reality, magic, fate, would be these actual concepts that sentient beings, similar to, you could kind of say the shards from Cosmere, but more like the cosmic entities from Marvel Comics. But not necessarily the same, that they were going to play a role here, but because this is going to be before Shattered World, they can't be the same, now have to define what they are. While working on that, I came up with an antagonist for Fate Marked as well going forward through the entire arc of Ethereal Record, which is based off of ideas the last big time I was trying to figure this out. And it's cool starting it here in the beginning, because the last time I had this, I was focused on the pre-Shattered. So the last time I tried these same concepts was back when I was working on Trucer, and that was the pre-Shattered story of how Shattered World became into existence. There was always this idea that the true beginning of the events that I was not going to write, I wanted to be able to raise up a new author, but I eventually decided to do it myself, and what I was coming up with just wasn't working. I'm happy that I was able to take those same ideas and we worked them into a new way into the actual beginning of this arc. So it's really been a productive day. I'm excited with what I've came up with and kind of exploring it out. But it's one of those things where I gotta take my time because I don't want to burn myself out. It is coming along. I'm happy with it. There you have it. A really rough 4 weeks. I did plan on to record at the end of the week on Friday, but I didn't. So, and I can't remember what I did on Friday. But it was a good rough 4 weeks, but I do think I got a better grasp or understanding of the story that Fate Marked can and will be, as well as what the story I'm telling for Let the Hunt Begins as well. So it's just a matter of fact of just digging deep and figuring out what the next 4 weeks goal will be and go from there. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd love it if you hit that like button. Nope. Smash that like button as a prayer to the holy algorithm. And subscribe because I got content on this channel, as well as more coming out shortly. My content I have that's best suited for you will be on screen now. Pick something, we'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough, but that's what makes a